Hello there, and welcome to Children's Time at Oakhurst Presbyterian Church in Decatur, Georgia. I'm Reverend Barbee, and I am so excited to be with you today. We're going to talk about some things that went on in our city. We're going to talk about some things that have gone on in history, and we're going to talk to our Creator God. But first, let's start with Juneteenth.
This past Friday was a time called Juneteenth. Juneteenth celebrates the freedom of the slaves here in America. Juneteenth was celebrated here by a celebration of the monument being removed. So I would ask you, after our service today, to do a little research on Juneteenth and find out how we can celebrate the independence of African Americans in this country. So, in honor of Juneteenth, I'm going to sing you a song, teach you a song, and it's called Old Freedom. And it goes like this. Oh, freedom, oh, freedom, oh, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. They'll be shouting, they'll be shouting, they'll be shouting over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. They'll be singing, they'll be singing, they'll be singing over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. And go home to my Lord and be free. And go home to my Lord and be free.
History. Think you know who I am? All of the good I've done. Conducted the Underground Railroad. 300 slaves freed by one. But there's another story hardly ever told about me. I was the first black female spy for the Union Army. Harriet Tubman knew I'm coming for those people you claim as property. Harriet Tubman knew I'm coming, bringing pain to the Confederacy. Past secret maps of generals, but they took Jacksonville easily. Thousands of people liberated from plantations with intelligence collected by me. And the end from the record, I had narcolepsy. During every single one of these dangerous adventures, I was at risk of falling
Well, hello there. Happy Sunday. I hope you've had a great week here. I know Decatur has had a great week, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today. It's good to be with you. We're going to talk about our city. We're going to talk about our world from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But first, I want to have a word of scripture from Matthew 10, 26 and 27. Listen now for a word from the Lord. So have no fear of them, for nothing is covered up that will not be uncovered, and nothing secret that will not become known. What I say to you in the dark, tell in the light, and what you hear whispered, proclaim from the housetops. This is the word of the Lord. I'm going to say it another way for you, though. Same text. Listen to Matthew 10 again from Reverend Barbee's perspective, to be honest. So don't be afraid. There is not one thing covered up that will not be uncovered, and there are no secrets that will not become known. What I say to you in the dark, tell in the light. What God says to you in the dark, tell it in the light. God talks to us in the quiet. And what you hear whispered, tell it all over the place. Proclaim it from the housetops. So you see, my picture today behind me is of dark and of light. You've got your darkness over here and your light over here. So what can you see better? Where can you see better? Do you see better here or do you see better here? I bet you see better here. Why is that? That's the way our eyes work. Our eyes work to adjust to clear vision in the light. But our Bible verse told us to be quiet in the dark so we can proclaim it in the light. Be quiet in the dark because that's when things are whispered to us. Sometimes we have to be quiet so that we can hear. But a lot of things that go on in the dark are not really that great. But those things that are hidden and done in secret will come to the light. I said earlier that we'd had a wonderful, wonderful week in Decatur. We have had a wonderful week in Decatur because there were a lot of dark things happening in Decatur, but they have come to light now. Many of you maybe even have gone to Decatur Square with your parents. There is a beautiful, beautiful statue for our church member, Miss Elizabeth Wilson, who was the only Black American mayor we've had in Decatur. But there is also another statue, a monument. They put that monument there in 1908 in front of the courthouse that was for everybody, not just those who put that monument up. Unfortunately, the people who put the monument up were not people who cared for everybody. The statue actually went up many, many years after a war was lost. And that war was the Civil War. And that war was to keep people that look like me in slavery. That's not fair. That is not of God. And that was a lot of darkness. And they put this monument up, and it hurt people's feelings. It hurt people's feelings for many years. And many people had to gather over a very long time, many years, to say that monument is not fair. It's not nice. It's just darkness. And if we're going to live together in the city of Decatur, everybody must be loved. Everybody must be embraced. Everybody must feel welcome. So many people got together over and over again. Pastor Heather and I got together. I got together with pastors from other churches. Church members came and said, that's not nice. That's not fair. It's got to stop. And they didn't want to take that mean monument down at first. But because we are people that want to walk in the light, we kept fighting until they took it down. So what happened? In the deep of night, way after most of us had gone to bed, the other night, on June 18th into June 19th, they brought in the big trucks and they took that mean monument away. So everybody will feel welcome at the square. That's a time of light, and we are so excited about that. So as our scripture said, those things that happen in the dark will come to light. And what came to light was people pulling together, loving together, shouting together for the same thing, for people to be welcome. Now there are some other mean statues around that square, and we're going to keep working together to get rid of those statues. So even our indigenous people, our Native Americans, people who were here before Christopher Columbus, can feel welcomed at that square too. When one person is in the dark, we're all in the dark. So we must walk in the light. So I know that you want to walk in the light, and you will do things even where you are to make sure that everybody is walking in the light of God. Thanks be to God. So as we've talked about darkness and light today, we are going to close on a song that I think you all know. And we're going to keep on marching towards that light. So sing with me. We are marching in the light of God. 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 We are marching, oh, we are marching in the light of God. We are marching, oh, we are marching in the light of God. We are singing 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 in the light of God. We are singing, oh, we are singing in the light of God. We are singing, oh, we are singing in the light of God. We are dancing 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 in the light of God. We are dancing, oh, we are dancing in the light of God. We are dancing, oh, we are dancing in the light of God. Go in peace. I love you.